I haven't moved very far. I'm still in Northumbria University. I've just left the locker room. This week with Fickle Friends.
This is Anyone Can Play Guitar, the podcast for musicians and music lovers that takes you behind the scenes of the music industry. This week is brought to you in partnership with MGR Music. Ever wanted to learn an instrument, hone your skills, or pick up something completely new? You can get so far by yourself, however professional guidance can make all the difference. With a network of tutors right across the UK and rates starting from as little as £15 per hour, visit mgrmusic.com now to get started.
Hello and welcome to episode 67 and our interview with Natty and Sam of Fickle Friends with me, Ben, and him,
James.
So last week was our interview with the Sheepdogs, and he has a little bit of a snippet.
The whole shtick was that it was like they had a big pool of unsigned bands and then a competition to see who was going to be the cover band, and we won it. So that was the whole thing, was that it was unsigned bands. But that was in 2011. It was a big shot in the arm for our career.
Go Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Oh, Canada. But this week,
Mm-hmm.
we've shifted from Canada all the way down to the south coast of England.
Yeah.
Brighton.
With Natty and Sam of Fickle Friends.
Indeed. So I've thrown one
You have?
fact out there.
You stole one of the facts.
Well, give me some more.
It's an FFF. Fickle Friend Facts.
Woohoo! Triple F.
Yep, so they're from Brighton. They met at
I know, I just told you.
BIM, the Brighton University. And they also have ties with another university, LIPA, in Liverpool, which is McCartney's university. I met them on their debut album tour. Their debut album, James, reached number 9 in the charts, which
It's pretty damn good.
it's impressive these days. It really is.
Impressive any day.
That's true. And I do believe the second album is coming soon. Literally last week they announced the new single and video for the new single. They describe themselves as like...
That'll not be yesterday when this comes out.
No, so I'll repeat that of like maybe when this comes out a month ago. So that was probably released now. So go check it out. I think they describe themselves as a pop band. Like they're kind of like that indie pop.
Yeah.
So they're not like Britney Spears pop, but they're not like Arctic Monkeys indie. They kind of fit in that little bit in between. As in, they play all their own instruments really proficiently, but have a pop sensibility. And I talked to Natty and Sam, Natty being the singer, Sam being the drummer. One of our first drummers on the show.
Ooh. Is that right? I think you might be right.
Yeah.
So, we've got a bit on how they formed.
Mm-hmm.
Chunk on feedback.
We squeeze a lot into this one, actually, because
It's fairly short, but yeah, there's a bit on fans, bit on locations being important to them.
Brighton, the Liverpool thing.
Bit on gigging in terms of support slots and touring.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, we mentioned about health on tour as well, because Natty wasn't very well like the week before. Had to cancel like one of the only gigs I've ever cancelled.
Yeah.
Which was a big deal to them. Which is great. That's a good work ethic, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Where can people find them, Ben?
They can find them on Twitter and Instagram, and on general online websites. But
General online websites.
you know what I meant. Twitter at Fickle Friends, and you can get Sam on at MIRRISHFF, which I think is MarishFF, which is his name, Fickle Friends. And on Instagram, you can get them at Fickle Friends and at Sam_Fickle_Friends and at Natty Catty, which is NATTICATTEH. Natty Catty.
I think we should just put links in the show notes.
That'll do the job. So thanks to Natty and Sam for the chat, Naomi and Hector at their PR company, and Callum, their tour manager.
Thank you indeed.
And here we go with the episode with Fickle Friends.
Remember, a great way to support the show is to go on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts and give us a rating and a review. It really does make a massive difference for the show. Now, on with the episode.
So yes, welcome to Anyone Can Play Guitar podcast. Nanny and Sam with Fickle Friends. And it's alright.
Left his printer on.
Classic.
Yeah. Northumbria University Institute tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Played here before?
Never.
Played Newcastle before?
We have. The biggest we played is it called the Riverfront?
The Riverside.
Riverside.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that last time.
And we did Think Tank the time before.
Oh, Think Tank's amazing venue.
Slightly different though.
We played to basically no one at Think Tank.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened with Newcastle. It was like we sucked here. People hated it. And then suddenly from the last show,
We went and did Riverside. And it was
and
like,
then
what's
just
happened?
there was loads of people there and we
Yeah.
had no idea how it happened.
Don't
I'd
question
love
it.
to know.
Yeah. It'd be cool to know, but also I'm okay with not knowing. Just
Fair
nice
enough.
that there were people there.
Yeah, that's the main thing. So how I discovered you, I discovered a lot of bands recently, is Apple Music. So I just go on the new releases,
Nice.
see what I find, and just go, I'll give it a listen. It's brilliant because you can just go, don't like it, or you can just fall down the rabbit hole, which I did with yourself, which I did with Shopping and other bands as well. So one of the first things I want to speak about is how you got together, and not necessarily the same old story you've probably told a million times. But I read about that the two of you got together in Lipa, is that right?
We
Yeah.
did,
Liverpool. And then you met the rest of the band BIMM,
Yeah.
Brighton.
Down at BIM, yeah.
So how useful was it having that community of artists and other creative people to create your band? So how did you pick each other rather than the myriad of other people you could have picked?
Well, I put the band together,
Mhm.
but Sam and I had a year at Lipa to just we were doing music there,
Mhm.
and I think a lot of people in their first year of uni kind of are still figuring things out a little bit, and they're not really ready to get on with stuff. So we'd already done that and arrived at BIM kind of a year ahead, I guess. So I was just I'm putting a band together, and I got to grab people quick.
Mhm.
Is what happened.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
so I started the band, I guess. It just kind of happened. I was in a class with Jack. I kind of already knew Chris, and went to the same open mic night, and obviously Sam and I were already friends.
Yeah.
And then Harry was just Jack's mate from home.
Jack's
So it just
friend
it happened quite quickly.
Cool. And did you have designated instruments at the time, or did you just go well, I want to be in the band, so I'm just going to learn to play like our
No.
bassist did?
People had their instruments. Well,
Yeah.
I guess the only person really is the fact that Jack is a bit of a multi-instrumentalist, and he's
Okay.
actually a drummer, but
That was his first instrument.
Okay.
it was the only thing that was open was synth, and he had a Nord synth, so I was just well, that's what you're going to play.
Yeah.
And he has since added on things because I think he has felt a bit unfulfilled just with synths. So now he has a synth, and he has a
His
sample pad,
drums, yeah.
and an SPD, and he has a drum set. So
Just to feel
Yeah.
just to feel more,
I think-
manly maybe.
I think all of that comes from because he played drums first.
uh-huh.
He's got the drums, and the SPD is essentially a drum kit.
Yeah.
And then the sampler, he just plays rhythms, so it's kind of just that's where he comes from. I reckon.
I was playing synth as well for a bit, and then I gave that to Harry, our bassist, and so he does
That's
synth
true.
bass and he
Yep.
plays actual bass as well. So kind of jiggled it around a little bit. But
Just whatever works best, I guess. So that was about 2013, 14, I guess, around about then.
yes,
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, spot on.
So in that, the BIMM.
BIM.
BIM if you want.
Yeah, okay, that makes much more sense.
Yeah.
Was it good having that community to get more people at gigs and tell you exactly what you needed to hear, whether you were good or bad, or change that, or whatever it might be, to have those supportive, creative types?
It was good. It was also it was equal good and bad, I think,
Okay,
because a lot of the time you had to do a lot of auditions to get on gigs and things,
Really?
and we were kind of like a favourite amongst the teachers because we were already a touring band at that
Mm-hmm.
point and we were working quite hard. But it's when you get up and playing, there's a couple of lecturers being no, I didn't like it for this reason or for this reason. It's just a load of rubbish, really,
Mhm.
because
It's just someone's opinion,
it's
really.
just someone's opinion, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was nice being around lots of people who were in bands and in music, and people you know who'd show up to your gigs and stuff
Mhm.
when you were first starting out.
That's good. Brighton's got a
fun.
good scene anyway, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's got a
Yeah.
really good scene.
Yeah.
Not really for pop music as such.
Yeah, we were a bit of a anomaly, I guess.
Yeah.
We kind of stuck out a bit because
Does that work in your favour though?
Well, I guess so.
We were kind of the only people doing what we were doing.
Yeah, that's true.
But we found that we got a lot more traction in London straight off.
Yeah, okay. Definitely.
You get caught up in this kind of music school bubble where it's just kind of you put on a show, you're playing a show, and it's just your mates turning up, and it's quite difficult to start building a fan base there unless you kind of go further afield and then come back, which is what we had to do.
Yeah, that's good. We spoke to Justin from Editors 2 weeks ago now, and when he was in Your Code Name was Milo, which is set up here, based up here. Actually, they just went, I'm not playing up Newcastle, but it's going straight to London. Because I said, what's the point of playing for your mates? I think that's a good point. So, at the moment, the traditional route of when James and I were in a band would have been get the band together, practice, get a half decent set, and just play every single pub in Newcastle, Sunderland, further afield. But I suppose now you've got SoundCloud, social media, and all that sort of stuff. So it's probably the landscape's a bit different now to what it was. And I read that you did a lot of festivals back in the 13, 14, 15.
Yeah,
we did.
Was that your main route into where you are now, using the festival circuit?
No, not at all. Actually, I mean, it's not relevant anymore, but our route was that we put a song called Swim on SoundCloud in 2013, when SoundCloud and Hype Machine was like a big thing, and music blogs were a big thing. Sadly, not so much anymore. And it just started getting, it was like the 20th most blogged song of the year, and it got on Billboard, and it got on Pitchfork, and it just went crazy online.
Okay.
And we got like a lot of kind of label interest from that. We played a show in London before we were ready to like be playing in front of all these labels. But the one person who kind of thought that we were worth a shot was our booking agent, who's still with us now. And he basically, we started working with him straight off the bat after that song came out. And
we just jumped into festival season,
into festival season, did 30
I think it was
something.
30. Yeah,
it was crazy.
It was a
so
lot.
I guess it kind of was, but it was SoundCloud and it was the blogs.
Okay, so really. A bit of both of new and old school, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
Old school, that's good. So like at that time, when you came out the end of that, and you've had that whole buzz around you, I guess, and the whole baptism of fire, playing those, going back into the pubs and the clubs, did that help? Did you see the same faces coming back?
I think. I can't really remember. Oh, it was like with Little Jen and like some people who were playing London. That we did start kind of getting a few familiar faces and some fans coming to all the shows. But I think really we only started like really making fans is when we got our first support tour supporting Jaws.
Okay.
Which was our first ever proper UK tour, really.
It was, it's the first time we'd actually been out on the road for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Not just doing one-off
and
festivals.
their fans were the shows weren't massive. I mean, we were playing like 200-300 cap rooms.
We played Think Tank up here.
Yeah. And but all the fans were crazy. They were really young kids, indie kids, and we just kind of went ham on like standing by our merch and getting sign-ups for the mailing list and pictures and everything. And we found off of the back of that, our just fans started to grow like.
Yeah, we actually got some.
Yeah. We actually got some.
Yeah,
some people who would actually come and watch us all around the UK.
Yeah.
So,
and they would say, we saw you at this show, we saw you at that show.
This week is brought to you in partnership with MGR Music. Ever wanted to learn an instrument, hone your skills, or pick up something completely new? You can get so far by yourself, however professional guidance can make all the difference. With a network of tutors right across the UK and rates starting from as little as £15 per hour, visit mgrmusic.com now to get started.
Okay, just our charity of the week, James. It's a charity that's came up a couple of times now. Here are Sam and Natty to talk about it.
Yes, Mind.
Mind, yeah.
Mind charity, for sure. Just
Wonderful.
because mental health means a lot to us, and talking about it and raising awareness is very, very important to us.
So to find out more about Mind, you can find them online at mind.org.uk.
Very common topic that needs a lot of discussion.
It does. Back to the episode.
And then, so you've got, at that time, you've got lots of singles have been released, about Comet 17, and a couple of EPs as well, 2015, 2017. Then you're working with your producer.
Mike Cruzzy.
That's it.
Yes.
So, any particular reason why you chose Mike? to produce?
Well, he did the 1975 record, and we loved that so much. We thought
The first one.
yeah,
Yeah.
first, second, and then bits and pieces of what's coming out now.
He was also kind of on a personal connection. Like my friends from Lipper is his engineer.
Ah.
Yeah.
And also we were signed to the same guy who had kind of signed the 1975 or Upstream them or whatever they call it. So he had worked with Mike quite a lot, so it just kind of felt like it was the right decision. But we actually ended up working with a bunch of people on the album, and also doing quite a lot ourselves.
Yeah, definitely.
That's probably a good thing as well to get you.
It's a good mix.
Yeah,
definitely.
The album's going down well, I guess.
Yeah,
it
it's
is
good.
For me personally, you listen to it.
Thank you.
So you're now on tour. What date are we on now on your tour?
6
Out
out of
middle?
8.
Out of 8, okay.
Actually, yeah, 6 out of 8.
Okay, and
Quite
I
a
know,
short one.
I know Nottingham was a bit of a bumpy moment because I think it was cancelled, didn't it?
We
Yeah,
did
we had to
have
cancel
to,
that one.
unfortunately.
Unfortunate, yeah, but it's been rescheduled.
We
so
rescheduled
totally fine.
straight away. Yeah,
So,
That very night.
yeah.
yeah. So how do you survive on tour, and like how far? Reading between the lines on your tweets and your Instagram that whatever was lingering for a couple of days. How far do you push it to make sure you do the gigs every night, and do you push it too
Well, I'm
far?
still ill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just have to call it. I mean, it takes a lot for us to cancel a show, I think. I mean,
It's definitely different for you though, because it's your voice that gets affected. If
And
I'm
also-
feeling really ill, I can still play the drums.
Mhm.
You know, I don't have to sing and front the band,
and I'm
you
running
know.
around a lot as
Yeah.
well, and
Yeah,
I'll play with a cough or a cold, or
Yeah.
I've got, well, actually, I have a really bad virus, so I don't want to infect you. But I was sick and I could barely stand up
Yeah.
in Nottingham,
Yeah.
and it was like as doors were opening, and it
Yeah.
just happened, and I was like, I can't do the show. I actually can't do it. They had
Which
to like
happens
wheel
to everyone,
wheel me out on a flight case.
we
to
wheeled
the
you out to
van.
the van, and I took you back to the
Travelodge.
hotel.
Travelodge,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
Classic.
But I mean, it's quite difficult.
Yeah.
Like everyone gets ill on tour, especially because we've spent 3 weeks in the US
Prior
doing
to
shows
this,
solidly before this. You just get ill, you get run down, you don't get a lot of sleep.
Yeah.
So what sort of things would you suggest to new bands who think, you know what, we're just gonna go on tour? What's the best way to survive a tour? Vitamins?
Well, you,
Get all your supplements.
yeah, supplements are good to
Uh-huh.
be fair, because you know sometimes you just don't get good quality food, and that's what kind of makes your body work.
Yeah.
So you kind of need to pay attention to that.
It's kind of simple because, on our first tour, all you want to do is you just want to get drunk every night and just, that's all you want to do. But don't drink too much, get enough sleep,
Yeah.
don't eat McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and fucking dinner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
go and eat somewhere healthy or do something for your body. Have your supplements, eat fruit, whatever. Drink loads of water.
Yeah.
And do your warm-ups, I guess. It's
Yeah.
all we can suggest.
Perfect. So I'm just noticing the time there. So I've got a couple more minutes left, and what we've done, and this is going to be season 2 now that we're going into, just changing the format ever so slightly, but just to make it a bit more fast-paced. Quick fire questions we've been doing.
Okay.
So, what was the song that you wish you'd written?
Oh my gosh.
Wanna Be by the Spice Girls.
Because
Wow, it's just a banger.
it's just a pop tune.
Yeah, it's just a
God.
really good. So that was a moment in time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I kind of wish I wrote Hey Jude.
Oh, that's
Yeah?
fair. Yeah,
Okay. It's a good
It's
one.
just great.
Timeless.
It's solid. Yeah.
cracking songwriting that.
Mhm.
It's not because I love it so much. It's just whenever I listen to it, I'm like, it's just perfect.
He really smashed it out of the park with that one, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think you'll go far.
I think his career's on the up.
Yeah. Who was the artist that made you want to become an artist?
It was a bunch of people for me, but I guess probably Madonna,
Mhm.
Avril Lavigne,
All right, yeah.
Very good. Yeah.
Britney Spears.
Mhm.
I know these are all females.
20 years since Baby Hit Me Baby One More Time.
Exactly.
Unbelievable, that isn't it?
But I
Some
was
people
always,
were born when that came out.
I wouldn't mind writing that one as well.
No.
That would have been good.
but yeah, just pop princesses, but especially Avril Lavigne because she was like a tomboy pop princess, I guess.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Cool.
What about you? I didn't ask you. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not really the front of the band as such. I'm kind of the guy at the back who hits the loud circles. But it's just like when you're playing the drums, it's just like drummers.
Right.
Big drummers. So like John Bonham from Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
And even drummers from like the music I was listening to, like Steve 32 from Sum 41.
Oh yeah.
That was like a really big deal for me because he was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just people like that, really.
Well, I think the Sum 41 are quite underrated. And the lead singer married Avril Lavigne, didn't he?
Mm.
Not together anymore. First album you ever fell in love with? It's the deepest of the 5 questions.
We're not very quick fire.
No.
No one has been.
Abergold.
Yeah, actually, you
You
said
don't have to
that.
be quick fire though.
Abergold.
You said that the other day. That's a good shout.
Have you heard Cher's renditions of the ABBA songs that she's just released? No. So I'm not really an ABBA fan or a Cher fan, but I'm going to appreciate what they do, especially Cher's voice. Unreal. Totally
Really?
recommend it. And I'm neither a fan of either of those bands.
Fair.
Or artists. First gig you ever went to?
Does a festival count?
Yeah.
Festival does count.
Yeah. My mum was taking me to WOMAD since I was about 3. Saw Chumbawamba.
What? Really?
That's the
That's
first band I
impressive.
ever remember watching.
Uh-huh.
I get knocked down.
Yeah.
And I get up again.
That's a hit as
Can you
well.
name another song by them?
No.
No, you're gonna.
No, you can't.
Absolutely
It's
not.
impossible.
Mm.
My first proper gig, I saw Deep Purple at Wembley Arena,
Really?
supported by Styx and Thin Lizzy.
Oh,
Thin Lizzy were loud.
Uh-huh.
They were louder than Deep Purple. It was insane.
so awesome.
But yeah, I mean, that was more my dad taking me.
Yeah.
But
I
That
saw
was the
Steps
first.
as well. That was sick.
oh, that would have been
Steps at Southampton Guildhall. Sick.
good. Okay.
Loved it.
And last one, what's the best part of this that you do?
People singing all the songs. It's pretty
Yeah.
pretty amazing. I love that. Even if you're feeling rubbish and you can see them singing, it makes you feel incredible.
Yeah.
Just getting to see new places all the time. We get to just travel so much.
And do you get much time to like embrace where you are as well? Do you get much? Was it?
We get some time.
Yeah.
We do,
I
yeah.
mean, our American tour where we did 3 weeks, and it was like the big American road trip. We drove everywhere, and it was epic. Even driving through
Yeah.
the desert was like, this is amazing, because you drive 4 hours here, and it's just kind of a bit of countryside and
you're at
motorway,
the other end of the
that's
country.
it.
Yeah, I mean-
exactly.
Yeah, we drove 13 hours in America and we barely got out of Texas.
Yeah,
But you'd be at the top of the country if you started in Brighton.
totally. Yeah.
So yeah, the travel's amazing.
Natalie and Sam, thank you very much for your time. And
Thank
enjoy
you.
Pleasure.
Newcastle.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Great.
So that was our chat with Fickle Friends.
Hmm.
Remember, their new album's coming out very, very shortly. Sounding very good, the new single. Thank you again to Natty and Sam for their time again, especially because Natty wasn't feeling the best on that day.
But that was one of the takeaways for me
Yes.
from that, is that, guess what? You're going to be ill.
Yeah.
Whether you're in a band or whether you do music or not, it's a thing that happens. And if it's around about the time that you're playing shows, then it is something that could take place. And something that people probably don't think about is, well, actually, you want to take care of yourself. Yes, you want to have fun when you're on tour, but what you don't want to be is your body just going, nah, I've had enough of this.
Yeah, because missing shows means missing pay.
Yep, letting fans down, it's just not good. It'll even if you take the best care in the world, you're still going to be ill at some point.
Oh, without a doubt.
But it is something to think about.
Do yourself a favour, basically.
Getting your vitamins and all that jazz. Yeah.
So, also thank you to Naomi and Hector from the PR company and Callum, Fickle Friends' tour manager. Who we got
Thank you
next
indeed.
week, James?
We have Maurice Hissink from Holland,
Our first Dutch guest.
who's talking to us about marketing and a lot of things that come with that.
Thank you for pointing out that your cat is a little bit screechy and you want to look into that. And the next video you can maybe tie into that and say, well, okay, I tuned my cat and how it's saying this.
All of the show notes for today's episode can be found at acpgmusic.com, along with our back catalogue of episodes. If you like what you hear, or perhaps have some improvements or specific guests you'd like us to consider, we'd love to hear from you. Email us at info@acpgmusic.com or hit us up on social media. Keep supporting upcoming artists, and we'll catch you next time.